Lisa is here to speak about the homeless. She's with Breaking Ground. We've done some work together. They're an excellent service, a not-for-profit service for the homeless. She's got lots of experience. She'll explain about her company and about who she is, and we're very happy to have Lisa here. Thank you, Lisa, for joining us.
Okay, so I'm Lisa Larkin. I am the Assistant Program Director for Breaking Ground Street to Home Manhattan. Sorry, I've been sick all week. What we do, so Breaking Ground is a nonprofit organization, and we have housing for permanent housing, we have transitional housing, and we do outreach, which is what I oversee. Our outreach team in Manhattan we are contracted through the Department of Homeless Services, and under that, we are under what they call the Manhattan Outreach Consortium. And Manhattan is basically cut up into 4 different quadrant or sections. And Breaking Ground does homeless street outreach Monday to Friday, 5:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. So what that means is we have 12 outreach workers. In the morning, we have 4 to 6. And they're out waking individuals up who are on the street. They're trying to build relationships with these people. They offer them any services they may need, anything from going to a shelter, a drop-in, and at the same time, they're working to see how long these individuals have been on the street. We service all individuals on the street, but our main focus is on the chronic individuals. In addition to the 12 outreach workers, we have 9 case managers. So once we deem somebody as chronic and we get them on our caseload, these individuals will have case managers. Now, some clients, you might walk by somebody and you'll be like, these people have been here for 30 years. They probably have been, but they have a case manager who is, working with them to try to motivate them to go inside. And if they don't want to go inside, we try to help them with other things, just making sure they're safe. If they need medical care, income, things like that. Our agency is based on the harm reduction model. So what that means is we really believe that when you have a safe place to sleep, then all the other things can come. We have 3 safe havens. One of them is Manhattan, called the Andrews. And what that means is, unlike the traditional shelter system, the chronic individuals have access to safe havens, which means that there's no curfew. It doesn't matter if you come back a little intoxicated. We really try to meet the clients, what we say, where they're at. And, we notice that, when someone has a place to stay, they drink a little less. When they drink a little less, they go into the hospital less. We've had a lot of success going from street to transitional to permanent housing. During cold and hot weather, like right now it's a code blue. So we have, we do outreach from 59th to 10th Street, River to River. That's our area. We don't go into the subways, that's BRC. And we have 39 people on our priority list for when it's under 32 degrees. And our outreach team is making sure they're safe. And that's anybody on the street. So yes, we have our 32, but if we drive by 6 on the way, guess what? We're going to pull over and we're going to make sure that they're okay. We offer everybody transport to a drop-in center. If somebody needs clothing, we'll try to help them with that. If we have an individual who we deem is at risk, which happened recently, and I think it was Midtown South who responded, sometimes our clients don't want to go to the hospital. But if somebody is suffering from, what we believe hyperthermia, what they can do is call me and I have the ability to involuntarily remove them. And in conjunction with the police, we get them safely to the hospital. In addition to, working with these clients, what we do is we do a lot of joint operations. By that, it's a lot of information sharing with different agencies. Last week, I think it was last Friday, my team met up with Sergeant Andrew Ho of Midtown South, and they went to a couple locations where they saw that there was a homeless population growing. We do joint operations with the Parks Department, BRC. Anybody that basically wants to do homeless outreach with, we'll do it. And it's really great for information sharing because sometimes our clients move around. It's cold, so they might go in the subway and then they come up and then, they fall through the cracks. So we want to make sure that doesn't happen. So it's great, especially when we go out with the police, because the police probably know them best. And, they'll tell us, oh, this guy's been on the street for like 15 years. And, that can expedite us getting them on caseload. We also have a psychiatrist who's with us 3 days a week, who meets our clients for psychiatric assessments. She'll also go out in the field and meet with clients. If we feel like somebody is at risk or we're like, do we need to have this person hospitalized, she'll come out with us. We are also, this just started a new initiative with the street medical team. And they're with us once a week. I wish they're with us more. But they provide medical services to clients directly on the street. So some of our clients might be really embarrassed to go to the doctor. Maybe they haven't been to the doctor in 30 years, and they know that they might not be the freshest smelling individuals. But our doctors will meet them, on a park bench. They'll meet them on the street. They'll meet them under the West Side Highway. And it's really a caring approach to helping those who are really medically vulnerable and don't use the doctor or the medical system enough. Currently, we have 270 clients on caseload, with the majority being on the street or in transitional housing. Like I said, the clients on the street, the case managers go out in addition to the outreach team and, talk to that client and try to have a plan for them to, seek permanent housing. They're also major advocates. So if, like, example, when we hospitalized the one client with Midtown South, he was a guy that's probably been out here for 30 years. When they go to the hospital, we're not like, all right, see you later. There's a lot of communication that goes on for him so we'll advocate for that client to be admitted, but then, we don't want to leave that client hanging. So what we'll do is we'll have the outreach, the client's case manager will go to the hospital while he's in the psych unit and meet with that client and really try to build a rapport. And sometimes it just begins with bringing the guy a Pepsi. And from there, what we do is we try to discharge that person safely into a safe haven. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it works for a couple of days and they're back at their spot and then we see them again. We're like, either you come with us or we're going to have to go back to the hospital because you're soaked. And you know what? They'll go back to the safe haven. So it doesn't always happen overnight. Sometimes it takes years, but when it does happen, it's pretty awesome. So clients too that, might not be so a lot of our clients do want help, and a lot of clients we do try to get housing for, and we get their housing packets together. But even clients that are a little more resistant, we put them on our caseload anyway. It doesn't matter if they want our services or not. We're there showing that, like, hey, we're here. And sometimes, if clients don't like us or they're hostile to us, we don't give up. It's all about persistence, and we keep trying. And, sometimes it's just that crisis that happens that really gives us the ability to jump in and help them. We do everything. Everything from medical services, getting people inside, finding people's socks. We do it all. We also answer 301 calls, Monday to Friday from 5:30 to 5:30. So if you see a homeless person and you're really concerned about them, you can always call 301. And we will respond within an hour, hopefully. I have a couple of cards. If you ever see someone you're super concerned about, if you can feel free to maybe email John and he can shoot me an email. What I'll do is once I get word of that, if I don't know the client, I'll send out my team and we'll go check it out. Unlike safe havens, shelters are pretty strict in when, if you don't meet with your case manager, boom, they'll throw you out. If you don't do in a certain amount of time, they're pretty quick to say, sanction you or say, you can't come back for this many days. I can't really speak on that behalf because, we're out there really just doing the street outreach and working with the really non-families. And we don't work with families. We don't work with children. If we do encounter children on the street, what we usually do is try to get them to go to the PATH shelter, and if they don't, we call the police, and we are mandated reporters. At least I know I am, because I'm a social worker, and panhandling with a child is a sign of neglect. So we do report that.
That's good.
We have a contract to provide homeless outreach to their bid team, or their bid area, and we basically have a team out there Monday to Friday. It's two of the same people, so they know that area inside and out. And remember that was 2 summers ago, and these women were popping up with the children. And I believe it was my old program director who worked with, may have been the 17th precinct or Midtown North. And I know some of them were arrested for like reckless endangerment. If we get a 301 call that's like, client is yelling and screaming and you're running in the middle of the street, that gets dispatched directly to those guys, the cops. But every other 301, we go out and we engage the individuals. I mean, I guess a good thing to note is some people think that by calling 301 that the homeless people are going to magically disappear. We go out there and, we offer them services. We offer them transport to a shelter. We also have, I can also do something. So say if a client is like, I hate going to Bellevue shelter. It's so crowded. Last time I was there, somebody stabbed me, but I really like this shelter. It's called the Doe Fund. I really want to go. This place is awesome. Great. So they give me a day or two and I can do a direct shelter referral so that that client can bypass the Bellevue shelter. And that's been working. We've done a lot of them. But so we'll go out there, we'll talk to the individuals, and we'll try to offer them everything from shelter, the drop-in center, especially if they have a pet. If they have a pet, they're probably not going to go anywhere. Unfortunately, there are no services for homeless pets or people with pets, unless it's like like a seeing eye dog or. But we do go out there and we do offer them things, but we're not just going to scoop them up and make them go away. But some people get very frustrated by that in the community, but I'm like, there's nothing. Right. And, there are a lot of for example, I got a 301 call 52nd and 5th yesterday, and I looked it up, and it's the same guy making the call, and I know who the client is, and it's a client who's permanently housed. But a lot of our clients will go out because they know how to make money. And our wonderful area of New York City, there's a lot of tourists that love to give people money. And a lot of our clients are permanently housed, and they're just trying to make a couple extra bucks. So, and I actually, because I saw this guy called every day for 6 days, I actually called him and I told him, I'm like, she's fine. She's not at risk. She has a place to live. She has a case manager following her in her aftercare. This is just her choice. But it's also really interesting, too. I mean, we've had clients who are, notorious hoarders. And it's really interesting when you get to their financials that some of them, they can't throw away, especially some of our more chronic people. You'll see how much stuff they have. And then, we had a guy once with, $100,000 or something. But he couldn't touch it. He just, in his head, he wouldn't touch it. Some of our clients who we do place in permanent housing, who love the hoard on the street, once they get into housing, they tend to do the same thing. We have a client like that now. But, they have the clients who are mentally ill go to supportive housing where there's a case management on site. And, they can call adult protective services if they have to, and they'll come in and do their thing. And we stay around after 3 months after somebody's housed or longer. Or if you see somebody who you're really concerned about, maybe a couple times you walk by and, it looked like he or she wasn't dressed appropriately for the weather and it's 10 degrees out, let me know, because that's also something that, maybe we can really help that individual get hospitalized or whatever. We have a lot of teams out there and we do the best we can with it. It's a tough problem.
Yes.
But, anybody can feel free to reach out to me or you got questions, whatever. I'm pretty reachable.
Thanks.
No problem. Thank you.